Steve Post from Wing Nation here at the PRI show. We're at the Racing Electronics display talking sprint car racing, and there's been a lot to talk about this season. Joining us, Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet, High Limits Racing. And Brad, we're going to start with you. Schedule is out, 60 races. This is a real wide, broad, open question. How's it going?
It's going good. Obviously, kind of a lot of the hard work's been behind the scenes, so laying it out for the fans to see and for the industry to see, is a big deal. It's hard to get a 60 race schedule built, so it's taken a lot of time, but really excited what we were able to produce, for a startup in year one. A lot of great events, and then obviously, starting to get to showcase the teams that are, signing up with us. So we still got a lot more announcements coming, and it's just been really good to see all the hard work paying off, and so many teams and promoters and individuals in the industry believe in what we're doing.
When you see a new team jump in, and I saw a little social media with Rico last weekend where you and him were having a meal or having a cocktail or something, when you see something, what's that like just for you, for a team to endorse what you guys are doing by jumping on board with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows they believe in us. It's very gratifying from our, from all the hard work that we've had to do to get to this point. And, we really haven't ran a race other than the 11 races last year. So for them to believe that, we're going to be able to produce a 60 race national schedule with the payouts and everything, it just says a lot. I think for Kyle and I, it's hard to turn a vision into a reality, and it takes a lot of work. So you definitely need people to believe in you, and when a team signs up, obviously they're showing their belief in what we're doing. So it's really appreciated, and just excited to get to work now.
I am sure, that's for sure. Kyle, going to switch this over to you, and I'm going to really start with that same broad question, because your perspective is different than Brad. Brad's a lot more in the trenches, the day in and day out. You're working on a lot of other things across the board. Kind of what's your take on how this thing has gone, how the rollout has gone, and how the excitement has been?
Well, I think it's gone really well. As Brad mentioned, the hard work, and it's been a lot of hard work, especially on him. Lots of hours on the phone, lots of back and forth with tracks and just different things to get it all ready to where it's at now. So, and then too with the teams that are have signed up and are slowly announcing. Like, that means a lot to me, because they believe in our vision, and that's to continue to grow our sport and to something bigger and better than where it's at right now. And I feel like in the short amount of time, sprint car racing has gone leaps and bounds better than it's been, which was already pretty good. So just excited for the future. Excited to kind of reshape the game of sprint car racing, and look forward to also being able to compete still and be a part of that, and to having Flow Racing on board. They do a lot for the sport. They invest a lot of money into grassroots racing, and that's very appreciative, or we all appreciate it a lot. So it's been fun, and just look forward to getting the rest of the announcements out, and then ultimately getting racing.
No doubt about it. We can't wait for that to begin. Kyle, your career, so much is surrounding yourself with good people. You and I have talked about Cliff Daniels and everything. We've talked about Paul Silva surrounding you. You guys, as you've assembled this staff, it starts with Mike Hess, the competition director. Kendra is part of your program. Kendra Jacobs, one of our original co-hosts, original founder of Wing Nation, if you will. What's that been like, putting this staff together and surrounding yourselves with good people like that?
Yeah, no doubt. We've put a big emphasis on hiring the right people with the right experience, and we could go on and on about who, but Kendra, JP, Mike Hess, Brian Walker, they've been kind of the core group, along with Brad, to get these visions into reality, and then going on and hiring more and more people who love what we're doing. It's just awesome to see that the support from others to want to be a part of what we got going on. So I feel like we got a great team. And it's only beginning too, so we're gonna keep evolving. Want to evolve the sport, want to evolve the way the business of the sport looks, and I think that's only gonna be good.
Let's talk a little racing, Brad. You won the championship with the World of Outlaws this year. How are things looking off season in preparation for next year? How are things looking with that number 49 car?
Yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, it's really great that Napa Auto Parts supported the move over to High Limit Racing, and obviously Casey Kane Racing supported it, and he's running himself. So we lost our tire guy Andrew Bowman he went to NASCAR, but he's got a family at home, so really understandable. And he gave us 5 great years. So we got a new guy. Excited to meet him. I haven't met him, but the Ty and Eric talked very highly of him. I think we're kind of a well-oiled machine at this point. We got a great program with our engine program's great with Rob Capetta, chassis with Maxim Chassis, factory Kane shocks, and then all our partners, Napa, Curb Records, Team ASE. There's just a lot of great things that Casey Kane Racing has that keep us contending for these championships.
I know you have a lot on your plate with owning this series and everything, but I think about routines, and I think about you for the last how many years have done very similar routines. We know where we're going to be at here. We know when we're going to be at there. What's it going to be like for you to have a new routine, a little bit of I don't know where I'm going to be at that weekend. What's that going to be like for you?
Yeah, as you get older, I think it's more important, having a daughter that's 5 years old, almost 6. I'm looking at a couple of vacations next year during the season just to refresh and regroup. And, that's something we haven't had with the World of Outlaw Tour, for a long time. It's 90 grueling races, and it's basically once you start, you don't stop to the end. So I'm excited for something a little different. I'm excited that we're going to go to 6 or 8 new racetracks. Just excited for the layout of the schedule to be different. It's really refreshing. I'm not gonna lie. It's I look at it and I smile. I'm probably more excited and more motivated to go racing this year than I ever have been.
That is exciting. We run into that with NASCAR for years and years. I knew the second weekend of August we'd be at Watkins Glen. Here someone would have a wedding in September. It's like, no, I'll be in Dover there. So that routine changing is really, really cool. Kyle, a couple final ones for you. We're here in Indianapolis. How is the Indy 500? I know you did a test session, the rookie orientation. Is it still starting to feel real, or where are we at with that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it felt pretty real then, when I finally got to strap in and get some laps. So really not much has gone on since then at all to this point. I haven't even really talked to the team at all after that test. A little bit of data stuff that we looked at, but so I don't know. I think I have some testing maybe coming up in a couple months, so I look forward to that. But yeah, aside from that, just been enjoying the off season so far. Got to do some midget racing, got to go on vacation, which was much needed, and then just kind of relaxing. This now is my off season. I think I have like 4 or 5 weeks off until Vado in the late model, and then that's basically when racing season starts me again. So just trying to regroup, refresh, and spend as much time with the wife and kids, and just get ready for a long year.
Now, you were in a race car recently. NASCAR did a test out at Phoenix. You were involved in that the last couple of days. What types of things, as we try to get our arms around this short track package, what types of things do you work on? Just what's your take from that NASCAR test?
Yeah, I don't know. It was tough, right? Because I was hoping there was going to be something that oh man, the cars drove way different in traffic and stuff like that. But nothing really moved the needle a whole lot, and that's not a knock at NASCAR. They're trying really hard to figure out how to make the racing better on short tracks, but it's just we pulled a lot of downforce off, and it makes the cars harder to drive, but doesn't necessarily make the racing any better or make it easier to pass or anything like that. So I don't really know which direction to go, honestly. There's a few things I think that they could do that they're probably really not able to do. With more horsepower would be amazing. A narrow tire would be amazing, but that's all stuff that's going to cost a ton of money, and I know they're not able to do it right now. But some fans I don't think like it, but I love the mufflers. I love mufflers on our Cup cars. And for any fan who complains that we don't need mufflers, they probably haven't been to a Cup race. So the cars are still extremely loud with the mufflers, so it's just less loud, which is nice.
Hear, hear. I'm with you there. Gentlemen, we appreciate the time. Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet joining us. The High Limits Racing Tour starts off next year down in the state of Florida. Can't wait to see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. We appreciate you guys joining us. Thanks, Brad.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Steve.
There we go. Joining us here at the Racing Electronics Group on Wing Nation. I'm Steve Post. More from PRI as we roll through this weekend.